the first thing I'm noticing is we got some fives here. So that means that something's breaking down. It could mean that something is depleted. It could also mean that there's demonic attack, which is interesting because I've been looking at the divine partnership that I've been doing, and there's a lot of karma in there. And I've been looking at the karmic readings that I've been doing for the partnership, and there's a lot of divinity in there. So there's attack, and there's like church. There's like it's kind of like the energy of witches hiding in the church. Okay. So when the moon is full in Capricorn, it means that we're ending or we're wrapping up a karmic cycle. And the sun is out here, so there's illumination that has happened already, and now we're becoming enlightened about something that's been kind of obvious. We also have the ruota, will. We also have the will here, a fortune, fortuna, which means that there's some kind of manifestation, and there definitely is a cycle either being locked in, so something's definitely being pushed into culminating, or there's a manifestation here. And then when you have the sun, and this is the second time for a significant reading that we've had the sun and the mundo, world, at the same time, universe here in this deck with the thought. This is the second time in a significant reading as such that we've had the, okay, I'm trying to soothe my nerves. I don't know what's going on. Something is like, and I'm not one of those. I have nerves of steel, so something's being communicated to me. I don't know what that is. I'm just gonna get comfortable if you don't mind. Thank you, honey. Okay, so let's get in here and get this handled because mama don't play no games. Messing with me is dangerous to your health. I'll say that and move on. So we have something manifesting. What that is, I don't know. And we've accomplished something, and we're coming into some kind of achievement. So I'm curious to see why we got 3 5s then. Okay, uno, due, tre. We have the 5 of bastione, denari, copa, the cups, pentacles, wands. And we start in the cycle with some type of healing or reunion even. Ultimately, it's going to manifest as a reconciliation. So we could be returning home. We could be returning to our divinity with the 6 of Cups. We could be, but it devolves a little bit. So it does come out, okay, so people that don't need to be around us get exposed because the 6 goes to the 5. So it means like we have our little spot, we have our little home base, we have our little sanctuary, we have our little lair, we have our little haven, we have our little refuge. And people got in that didn't need to be in. People attached that didn't need to be attached. Instead of people that were assignments from the divine, we had attachments from the infernal. So the enemy had a foothold, maybe not a stronghold. Some of us, yes, it was a stronghold, but the enemy had a foothold. And now that's being reconciled, okay? Because we probably had to take some choices here with this wands, 2 of wands. And the challenge, obstacle, conflict, crossing was that we were chosen in some way. We had this excess divinity. We made it. We were highly favored, chosen, blessed, and anointed in some kind of way. But this anointing was showing. So we were like prayed up or living out of our favor or something of that nature. It's not just the root of it, it's the actual effulgence manifestation thereof. And it's on and popping, it's feeding itself. It's kind of like an investment that keeps paying off, keeps yielding dividends. However, some of the results, it wasn't a loss, although that's arguable. It will look like a loss, but it's not. In the heavens, it's like our path is being illuminated, our steps are being guided. But down here upon the earth, what it looks like is loss, 2 5s. It changes. There's losers. Unfortunately, with a double 5, it means that some, a loss now will be favorable in the long term, so will a win, you know. So this is saying like you have untouchables, you have undesirables, and they're being cast out because we are being protected. We have this unconditional love of the divine, and we're receiving it in perpetuity with the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Cups. That's what I'm getting. And this feels to me like a divine reading, but it's not. And I went to grab the oracle for the divine reading, and I got snatched back. So snap back. Let me pull that oracle out because I'm gonna forget. Why don't we go ahead and pull one of these now? Revolving door series, please. Okay, so somebody has this maladaptive idiosyncratic perfunctory view of the self because we have new birth guided vigilantly. And so again, remember what I was saying, it's like we've secured this sanctuary, we've secured this refuge, we've secured this safe space, and people are being purged from that. Something made it through the gate, kind of like a fly got in the soup, a hair got in the cake and in the pie. And I'm a lemon meringue kind of person, so that would upset me. Sometimes you can't see the hair in there because it's chocolate, but I don't like chocolate unless I come out of like a sweat lodge or something and it's a piece of dark chocolate. I prefer lemon or coconut flavored anything, and I don't even like cake. I prefer pie. Just saying, like, you know, it's one of those things. Fly in the soup, you know, a piece of hair and the lemon meringue that agitates, you know. And it you want harmony because lemon is symbolic of cleansing the road, opening the road. Does that make sense? Coconut is symbolic of a sweet and peaceful life. Okay. Also something that's clean, that's purified. Okay. So chocolate is symbolic of something that's come through with power. So it's gone through some kind of process and it has this result, and the result is life force, power, something that it like, you know, people have an energy. So it's whatever that energy is that you're exuding. Then another name for that would be like the vibe, the vibration, but like your vibration, which is the energy. Just frequency transmutes into vibration, with vibration solidifies as energy. Okay. So sing the truth in you, new growth guarded vigilantly, softly, softly, the tender touch, power of attraction. So we do need to be natural and gentle with ourselves. And the thing about the Queen of Cups, Regina de Copas, she has this unconditional love, and that's why you go to her, versus the king, he has this tolerance, okay? And then another thing is she's receiving the unconditional love of the divine. I'm hearing Sarah, Fatima, okay? And these are mystical terms. Maybe your name is Sarah, Fatima, or Miriam, but I'm hearing mysticism here. You know, me, I'm a Maniwata West African Budun, but I'm also Italian Jew. You understand? Not Roman Jew, but Italian Jew. So the mysticism, I'll hear Islam a lot. I'll hear Judaism a lot. Not to be confused, you know, when you are universalist, they all kind of come in, but I was raised Jewish. So I'm hearing Sarah, I'm hearing Fatima, which is kind of like the most revered feminine in the mysticism, if that makes sense. And it's all coming from her with the Nine of Cups together. Okay. So we have legacy of light. So what I'm getting, and we'll read that down, what I'm getting is that someone attached themselves to our energy, and they've been shielding our divinity from coming in fully because they're attached. It's kind of like if you have a parasite, you're not getting all your nutrients. You could be eating 3 square meals or getting all of your daily vitamins and nutrients, but something in the gut and the bowel and the whatever is leaching. There's somebody like stealing the cable. There's somebody siphoning off, right? That's the energy that I'm getting. You're being asked to honor your legacy of light, that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those who have come before you. Your ancestral lines, not only in blood, but also in spirit. Perhaps these are the beings that have inspired and motivated you to live as a sacred rebel. From your heart and with belief in yourself, the more you are nourished by this legacy of light from your past, the more you become a bearer of the legacy for those that will be supported by your light in the future. This is a sacred endowment from the great universal source of light to humanity. It is the light of wisdom, creativity, radical courage, love, and respect that is passed down from the heart of each generation to the next. The legacy of light is your spiritual birthright to refine and shine your essence into the world, to be like a sun, a radiant, unapologetic, to be like a sun, radiant and unapologetic of your own nature. This is Legacy of Light from the Sacred Rebel Guidebook by Alana Fairchild. It's also the cover card, so it's like we've returned home, we've returned back to the middle, and this is so apropos with the wheel and the sun, El Sole. So something's being shaken off, shake it off. You gotta do what's best for me, baby, if that means I gotta shake you off. Yeah, by the time you get this message, it's gonna be too late. Don't bother. Yeah, okay. So now we should begin the reading because it's coming through. You know, we're taking the choice to return to peace, return to stillness, return to harmony within ourselves. We can walk alone. 9 means isolated because we found the gate to our own eternal divinity. We don't need somebody, we want somebody. And we start out returning to ourselves, and we take that decision. And then there, of course, is some type of conflict, 5 of Wands, of course. But the situation is like, it's time. It's just how the cycle went. We were always going to mature through the cycle of wanting to go towards divinity. So on the other side, it's a wrap with this world card. It doesn't matter what you have to say if we're talking to somebody, the cross watcher. It doesn't matter what they have to say. You know, we've got to do what we've got to do, and that's choose ourselves, because maybe this other side, this other person is not choosing us, however that looks. Okay. So the sacrifice to make is to receive the love of the divine, and only to receive the love of the divine, because we need to empty out our vessel of anything that is karmic, of anything that isn't Radha, meaning calm, pure, clean, healed. If there's Petro around, if there's Congo around, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like we don't accept that for what it is, but maybe we cannot tolerate it in our space. Maybe it's not a vibe, you know. We can allow now people to move how they move, even if we need to move out of their way. That's kind of what I'm getting, what I'm seeing, what I'm sensing, what this is giving. Okay. And so, of course, it's a conflict for them because perhaps they're being cast out. Now, they can receive what they want, but it's just not from us. That's the thing. People don't always hear that. When you tell them no, you're really telling them not me or not now. And they're hearing no, not ever. And yeah, okay, maybe no, not ever with us. yeah, maybe I'm not going to be the one to give you what you need, but it's not like I don't want to see you get what you need. But if what you need harms me or what you need harms thee, I might not need to see you do that. It's kind of like an old friend. It's like, honey, sweetie, homie, darling child, uh, I don't hate you. I just can't F with you no more. It's like, it's not like I don't want to see you eat, baby girl. It's just like, I don't want to see you eat at my table. So somebody's not understanding that. That's a problem for somebody because now we're coming into this conflict. It's going to be a most particularly painful expansion because we've got to let our heart break a little bit. We went from a double 5 to a double 3. So what we have at the gate, this whole reading is bottom feeders. So we are under a demonic attack because we're chosen and they're not. So there's multiple ways to say that we cannot be choosing them as a partner anymore. We could not, they might not be chosen by the divine, by the ancestors, by the heavens. Okay, but we definitely are. And in this connection itself, we're choosing ourselves. And that's going to be the basis of the whole reading. Yeah, so we're choosing to walk alone and we're actually manifesting now. And this other side has to cop to something or they're going to go through a series of loss. And it would appear to a lower vibrational person as like they're on the outs. Really what it is they're being given an opportunity with the La Papa, the Hierophant. They're being given an opportunity to bring order over chaos, but see, it's them that's chaotic. They're chaotic neutral, they're chaotic messy, they're on and popping, but with the stupid, the crazy, the loco, the delulu. They're not living righteously. And whatever that is, because it's not a judgment, that's just the energy would be more exalted if that was the case. And see, really the energy is giving them an opportunity to make corrections within their energy, but they need to have a higher spirit. You know, sometimes there's a sickness in the spirit, which equates to an illness in the soul, which said differently is a dis-ease, not disease, dis-ease. They're miserly, they're bitter, they're quaking in their soul. There's some fervor in their spirit that needs to be aligned, that needs to be cool, that needs to be calm, that needs to be appeased. And unfortunately, it's like they're looking or pulling from external sources to feed what's alive inside. That hole in your soul is a God-sized hole, and nothing else but God is going to fill it. Now, if you don't say God, say the universe. If you don't say universe, say higher power. If you don't say higher power, say creator. Allah, Buddha, Shekinah, Jehovah, don't matter, don't care, get right. Get right, get into alignment, get saved, get healed. That's what's up. And so that's not what's going on this other side. They want to sit there and focus on the problem, not the solution. They want to sit there and focus on the conflict and not the relationship. So therefore, they've sacrificed this connection. And that's fine because sometimes it's karmic, it's catalytic, it's not always long-term, it's not always lifetime, it's not always a twin flame. That's what's up. And it doesn't need to be particularly pleasant, it needs to be what's up. Unless we deal with reality, unless we deal with what's going on, we're not going to get to what we want. We're going to have to deal with this. And karma means lesson. And when you don't learn the lessons from karma, it throws off conflict because austerity cleanses, pain returns you to the path, adversity purifies. Does that make sense? So ultimately, somebody here, us, we've got into the depths of our soul. We have the answers because we're no longer blocked from our eternal soul. And it is going to be particularly difficult. Some things may come in and break up happiness, break up harmony. Unfortunately, we may get a fly in the soup. We may get a little piece of hair in the meringue, unfortunately. In the lemon curd, custard, whatever, what have you. Because, yeah, I keep saying lemon, and citrus is very popular with the sun spirits, but so is coconut, by the way. Coconut and lemon both come out the sun. And I could tell you lots about lots of different things. It's all connected. So this is allowing expansion that's difficult, prickly. And it means that there's terms and conditions. You can keep moving forward, but you might need to leave something behind. Typically, if this is a positive situation, it's because the sacrifice has been made. The Three of Swords. And the other side has been given a choice. They're being given a choice. They're being given a choice. They're not going to want to make it because of their feelings, because of their ego. Okay, I hope you work that out. There are policies, procedures, and protocols here, means, mechanisms, methodologies, system structure, foundations, and or God duties and obligations. You gotta come correct. You gotta go by the book. And it literally does mean that it has to be some type of practical thing here. It could be a practice, or it could be means, mechanisms, methodologies going by the book. Okay, so they're going to stand on business, and it's that funny business. Unfortunately, there's some entitlement here with the Judgment and the Nine of Wands. Illustrated would talk about, frankly, this is going to affect their eternal soul. And we have the Queen of Cups, and now we have the King of Cups here. So they've got to take a stand. And unfortunately, it's not for the connection. It's for, they've got to choose the right way. I felt that before. I only had a small confirmation. Now it's all fully out there. It's fully confirmed. It's like the second opinion has come. They've got to, listen, there is a way to redeem themselves, but it's not by standing on their demonic business. And demonic doesn't always mean they pledge to the devil. It could mean that they're because live spelled backwards is evil. Lived spelled backwards is devil. So there's something where they're spiraling away. They're going against the unity, against the divine, against the unconditional love, against the universal oneness. They're not going towards, they're not spiraling upwards, they're spiraling downwards. Whether or not they understand, they recognize, they perceive, or they even believe it. That's what's going on. And there's a message here. So they are getting a second chance with the Bajeto and the Judgment, the Magician and the Judgment. They are getting a second chance. They're not willing to perceive it. Now, things are going to move with or without them. We've had a pair of threes successfully here. We've had a pair of fives successfully here. Things are going to move forward with or without them. It don't matter, don't care. Okay. But they will get the message. These are going to get expanded. So they can refuse. They might do that. La, 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 can't hear you. And that's not our fault, not our problem. We're going to receive that increase in rank, and we're going to keep moving higher to higher. Okay, and now we have a pair of nines. So we had a pair of threes, a pair of fives, and now we have a pair of nines. And remember I was saying, and it's triple nine, and we've had triple five already. So needing to spend some time alone, double nine, a pair of nines. Forced isolation is a triple nine. So we have a triple nine with the Hermit. So what's this message they're refusing to get? Okay, so we have the Empress. So they're not understanding that we're chosen. And they could be too, because they were given a path. And they need faith. They need to be guided by faith. And they're going to be left alone in their own energy in order for them to receive that light, to hear that whisper. Because, it's like money, money talks, wealth whispers, right? It's the same with divinity. Ego shouts, divinity whispers. Ego shouts, divinity talks, God whispers. And so when you pop enough at the mouth, when you loud and bold and bodacious, and when you got that audacity, here's what's up. You're going to miss a lot. This is how that goes. And when your ego is so strong that you think you're right and you can't even listen, homie, if you think you know everything, you ain't going to learn nothing. And maybe you know a lot. I'm not saying that what you have to offer ain't valuable or whatever. Let me just tell you what this is. You wouldn't be incarnated upon the earth if you did not have a sacred mission and something to learn. That's how that goes. When you're done learning your lessons, guess what? You get to go to the promised land. So you need to step aside and sit down, shut up, and handle up on your mission, on your karma. Because if you popping up at the mouth, it means your hands aren't open to receive. That's just, if your mouth is open to say something, your hands are not open to receive. Not from the divine eternal kingdom. You can still get from the devil. Go on ahead then. I don't want that for you, baby, but it seems like that's what you want. Because you'd rather be right than be well. You'd rather prioritize the conflict than prioritize the relationship. You'd rather operate under free will than divine will. And does it matter that you have your free will and that you can decide for yourself? You'll do a really good job deciding for yourself, but you won't do the very best job when you don't let God, when you don't let the universe order your steps. You need to walk out on faith, homie. That's what's up. And that's not what's happening here. Could we keep getting a level up with divinity on our side and they keep, this is actually an improvement, but the improvement is they got sequestered by the Lord. So if the gift was having everything torn away from them, that's that last chance. I'll be right back. I'm not gonna pause. I need to get my tea. It's lemon ginger turmeric. Okay. And if I could get another chance, I'd do it again. I'd do it again. Okay, so they're dogged. That's what makes a demon. Because demons are actually very powerful, but their power is like either one-sided or it's like Firefly versus Bumblebee. It's like short burst, or it's not fully evolved where they can think about the beginning, the end, and the middle. It's not like they can play the script all the way to the end and see what kind of impact they're going to leave on other people. So they'll sit there and justify their harm, their abuse, their toxicity because of their intention. Oh, well, I meant to do this. I meant to do that. The sky is blue. The Pope is Catholic. The water is wet. The grass is green. La-di-da, yada-yada. Look at me. Let me justify. Okay, well, you are going to judge yourself on your intention. We're going to judge you on your impact. Okay, we're going to judge you on your behavior. Okay, nobody's going to lie here at your funeral saying, here lies Mr. Motherfucker and all the things he almost did. You're going to be like, here lies mofo, little karmic asshole, and all the legacy they leave behind, all the things they effed up. Okay, that's just how it goes, is how it be. And it's unfortunate. Of course, we'd like to make it different, but we don't make the rules here. So that's where we are with things. It's like we're healing. And this other side is having to sit in their karma. So we made a detachment, and finally they come into their own energy, but it took a while, and it took them having to be left alone in their own spot, sequestered. They're probably going to be isolated to their house. They probably literally hid alone at home and cried a little bit. Because it does come. So remember in the beginning of the video, my dear, I was saying like, oh, hey, look, it's weird because a lot of karma is coming into the divine readings and a lot of divinity is coming to the karmic readings. This was a catalyst because it's karma, because we're not going to grow together. We're going to grow apart, or we have to heal separately, even if we do have a reunion. And it did start with reunion. But I'm detecting that we come across a lot of people that we used to be messing with, and we're not able to get with them. We have to leave them alone. but we begin to understand why it didn't work out or why we couldn't walk with them for a while. And unfortunately, it's true what I'm saying is because we're seeing why we had to go with the loss, why we had to take an L. And you say you have the Empress here with 2 queens. So we do have this unconditional love, but we also have the discernment and these boundaries and standards. And that's our needs, because the Empress is the material side of spiritual affairs. She guards the gate of creation. And she's a portal keeper. So unfortunately, we're an alpha female and we're dealing with a beta. So listen, I don't know if you're a queer family, it works a little bit differently. And unfortunately, I have to call it out. It's not the month. I do that Gemini and Sagittarius season. I do a lot of gay readings just because that's how the energy works universally. People upon the earth think gay is wrong. I don't understand that, but I do believe in nature. You need to follow the flow of nature. That makes sense to me. But I'm mentioning it anyways right now since we have the gay card here. The Temperance is the rainbow card. So if you're a heterosexual couple, and forgive me, why would it matter, right? Why do we got to talk about LGBT? Okay, it's Pride Month also though. Funnily enough, I'm volunteering right after this. So if you are the traditional hetero couple, let me tell you how the energy works, and it's not just upon the earth, okay? An alpha female cannot match themselves to a beta male. I'm sorry. The pair bonding is not going to work out, and it's not my opinion. There's spiritual dynamics here. A lioness cannot lay with a gazelle. A lioness can't even lay with a puma or a cheetah. You hear what I'm saying? Now, a alpha male can get with a beta female. Now, it does change a little bit in queer dynamics. It also changes a little bit if there's like some kinky. So if you're into subs or slaves or toys or whatever, that can work as well. But if it's a pure romantic coitus copulation situation, that's not going to work. Because we have alpha female and beta. I don't know if it's beta male or not. And unfortunately, they're not going to mature into alpha here for the way that this round works. Does that make sense? Now, if you're two-spirit, if you're queer, the homosexual side, it works. But like if you're the lesbiana side, it doesn't work the same. There's going to need to be one alpha and one beta. And even if you have a femme butch situation, the butch is going to need to be true alpha, and the femme is going to need to can be alpha female, but it's going to need to yield to that alpha energy externally. And that alpha energy is going to need to yield to that beta energy internally, meaning in the bedroom, in the relationship, in the intimate spaces. Does that make sense? And this should be helpful. If it's offending you, it should offend you because there's some ego to work through. I'm sorry. It's going to heal those who need to hear it, and it's going to offend those who shouldn't be here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I need another moment. Grant me just a sec. So there is healing here all the same. Okay. On another note, outside of the sexuality, so remember what I said, this is catalytic, because once we withdraw our energy, once we take the choice to walk on, to detach, to withdraw, to move on, to move forward, to higher ground, into our divinity, the other side does try to catch up. And now they might not catch up to us, but they catch up energetically. So they at least become the thing they need to be to attract the energy that they need into their life. And that's outside of sexuality. If there's sexuality here, though, there would be conflict. It's doubly confirmed. And we have 2 queens here and no kings. You literally have beta on, and the beta is confirmed. So The Chariot is beta, and then you have the Knight, which is beta. So they follow orders. They don't lead. That's the thing with the divine feminine. She wants to be led out in the world, and she'll lead in the home. That because women discern, and that's the thing that men need from women, because women have sensibilities in the subtle realms, and men have sensibilities in the gross realm. Gross means physical, subtle means spiritual. So women rule what cannot be seen, and men rule what can be seen. That's why colonizer controller. Men understand empire, the systems and structures and foundations upon the earth. Women understand universe, meaning how things go in the spiritual. If you don't agree, that's fine, but that's what I'm going to put forward, and I'm going to put my name on that as well. Okay. Okay, so we're progressing through this connection. We haven't gotten to much karma yet. So it was difficult for us because we had to let some people go, or let some things go, or detach for some things, withdraw for some things, and it didn't feel good, but it did bring us what we needed to do. We had to choose ourselves. Now, somebody here has a Jupiter in Pisces, somebody here has a Mars in Pisces, somebody here has a Pisces rising. Somebody here definitely has a Pisces rising because their midheaven is Sagittarius. There is somebody here that's a Gemini rising. Somebody here has their Venus in Sagittarius. And that's just that on that, okay? Now, it's for sure, somebody here also is a Virgo rising or has their Mars in Virgo. No, somebody here is a Virgo rising. Somebody here has a Mars in Pisces. Somebody here is a Sagittarius rising. Definitely Sagittarius rising. Definitely Mars in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces. Definitely. Okay. So this message would be to you. Now, to a lesser degree, Pisces rising. To a lesser degree, Virgo rising. To an even lesser degree, Venus in Sagittarius. Okay. This message is to you. Now, we have to have those boundaries and standards. We're needing boundaries and standards, period, point blank. Because if we don't put boundaries and standards, we're not going to get that other thing that we need, which is to be chosen. We need to have a consistent, conscientious, and I say this all the time in my readings, you know, me personally, the kind of way that I am personally in my own connections is I need affection, adoration. That's what I need. I don't need your money. I need affection, adoration. I'm going to get up and leave if I don't get that. Okay. And that's also here. But let me tell you, we need to put down boundaries and standards so that we can discern that we're receiving affection, adoration, because this queen is needing to be chosen consistently, again and again, 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 again. And that actually is how it should be. Because the divine feminine provides refuge for the divine masculine, and the divine masculine provides stability and security for the divine feminine. And that's actually how the energy works. That's kind of how it yields to each other. That's kind of how the flow goes. It's kind of how the connection meshes. And listen, if we withdraw our energy, the other side is going to have that aha moment, that insight. It's just they're going to have to sit in it for a minute. They're going to have to kind of stew in their own mess. And they're feeling bold and bodacious. They are feeling complete after the cycle is over. They might have some kind of agenda to come back towards us to get us to choose them, but there's some boundaries and restrictions here. There's rules, regulations, restrictions here. It is over. So if we were connected to a person and we're having to let it go, it is over. Because something from a previous lifetime finally got confronted and healed. And so we should let it go, let it die. Let it go. I didn't get that, let it die. I'm sorry. I said, that's a quote, let it go, let it die. Let me just half that though. In this situation, let it go. If they want to catch up to us, great. They better be an alpha when they show up. And that's energy you can't fake. I'm sure if they're really still not healed, they're going to try, but you can't fake alpha. You can't. So we're going to need to lead with the heart. We're going to need to be heart-centered, us on our side. We're going to need to confront some things as well. We're going to need to peer, to inquire about whatever we're sensing intuitively. So if our intuition isn't feeling right, that's the decision, the shot call that we need to make, which means strength, courage, and wisdom. And see, on this other side, there's some kind of agenda because they're just starting their journey out into becoming alpha. They're still starting their journey out into finding their divinity. They're feeling bold, courageous, bodacious. But you see, at the time, they didn't believe that this was theirs. And so they fought and they strove for it. And that's the thing, an alpha doesn't strive. So we're going to get new. We're going to get new connection. That we're not going to be with this person. Because you have the Eight of Swords here to the Ten of Swords. We have the whole connection come out. Some of us really can choose this person, but listen, if there's a niggle in your sniggle, don't do it. If your intuition is telling you something's wrong, something's hidden, don't do it. If it's just unhealed wounds, okay, because, okay, so this person's going to be reactive. They're going to be watching us online, seeing that somebody else is going to have access to us, and they're going to not like that. That's what's going to make them come back around. They're not coming back around because of how they feel. And remember, I was talking Sagittarius, I was serious. I wasn't kidding. Okay, so this other side, they need to heal their inner child because they're two-faced. They don't want to say, hey, I know that we're connected. I need to do what I need to do to handle up on this relationship. Like, I don't understand how a man can't come through and say, listen, baby girl, I'm feeling you. I need to get with you. I got to do what I got to do. Tell me how to handle up on that. Tell me what you need. What kind of man I got to be for you to make you feel safe and secure. And listen, you don't have to use my exact words, but if you can articulate some semblance of that, you're wasting my time. And see, that's an alpha. That's an alpha. And see, that's not how they're showing up. I'm just going to tell you. Willingness to confront agony, pain, danger, uncertainty, or intimidation. Strength to venture out, persevere, and withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. I do not care what it takes, how long it takes, who I upset. I'm going to return to you one way or another. See, if you're not like that, don't bother me. I felt so bad. I felt so bad saying the things I was saying, but let me just say it. I'm going to just say what the fuck is that? Excuse my language. That's what's up. Because somebody's drinking the Kool-Aid here. They're listening to others. They're disregarding their own feelings. They're nervous. They're acting like a coward, a maricon, a mariposa, really. You know, knowing, excuse my language, the faggot's calling somebody a faggot. I just said it. That's what I said. Mariposa. They're acting like a mariposa. I'm sorry, darling. Pardon me, honey. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be disparaging. I spotted because I got it. They're acting like a mariposa. Okay? I followed blindly to what everybody else was telling me. They made me believe our connection wasn't real and that it was just a waste of my time. I now know that that was not true. I know now that that was untrue. Listens to others and disregards their own feelings, knowingly goes along with other people's plans and ideas without taking their own feelings into consideration or thinking about their own well-being. What about us? What do we need? The mirrored nature. Yeah. So great source of reflection and growth, willingness to understand and genuinely connect. They show you your deepest feelings, insecurities, and shadows through action. If you're feeling under duress or feeling solemn, I feel it too. When you're thinking of me, I am thinking of you too. Our connection is deep and profound and something difficult to understand. The thing is, we will get in trouble, Eight of Swords with the Fool card. That means we will get arrested by the celestial Gestapo. God will put us on timeout if we choose this connection and it's not right. So if this person isn't choosing us and prioritizing us above all else, meaning what their friends say, what their family says, how they feel about other people, we can't do this. Because what we're going to get is our spiritual inheritance. Our celestial endowment is at the gate ready to come in. But there's rules, regulations, and restrictions here. And we were already told and informed and educated about this before, previously. So we know better now. This time around, we know better. And we're being warned. And I keep hearing, if I get another chance, I would do it again. I would do it again. So, no. I mean, unless, there's no unless. I'm not feeling it here. Okay, so we have Virgo, like I was saying before. We'd be settling because this person doesn't cherish us. They desire us. They covet us. Unfortunately, it's not the right. It's not. They're settling because this woke them up. And so they want to go to the thing that activated them, but the thing that activated them was a fleeting thing. It was catalytic. We would be settling because this person doesn't want us. They desire us. They don't cherish us. So they need to step into their feelings. They need to find this loyalty. Because they're overly sensitive, they're moody, they're vindictive even, and they're pitting themselves. So they're unreliable because they're lazy and fearful. They don't have the strength to go out there and figure it out. If you pulled in a hole like us, hold that energy, increase that energy, raise that vibration, and go and pull out another hole. What we already slipped through your fingers. You mistook, you misjudged, you mistreated, you misperceived us. You slept on us. Okay, that's just what's up. So we had to glow up because we had to find some bases of power and control for our own life. Okay, and so we can't handle you because we got other things going on now. And even though we would say yes, unfortunately, you're unrelatable, unreliable. We had to break through those barriers because you was just going around everywhere looking for some feel good. You weren't the man that we needed. Unfortunately, you did not cherish us the right way. And unfortunately, now we're too magnetic. And there's plenty of people around that will give us what we want, and we don't want you. Because you're the one that gave us this comeuppance. So the thing about a female is once she goes on to another man, if she's really a divine feminine, if she's really a divine female, women upgrade, men downgrade, because men are looking for comfort. I'm sorry to say, like, a lot of people would argue with me that you're missing something fundamental. I'm not saying that you're not right. I'm not saying that I'm not wrong. I'm saying I'm dealing with the common denominator here. I need to tell you how the formula works. If you are the exception to the rule, good for you, but then that means you should have that extra intelligence and be elite. I'm talking to the commonality here. When you're elite, it means you've carved out an increased spot. You have an advantage over the commonality, okay? So the way that it works is that women do the selection, at least for humans. Other breeds, other species, it can shift. But for the human species, the women do the selection. It's called sexual selection and natural selection. You understand? So in humanity, we have sexual selection, which meant it's the female that brings the humanity along. And in that sense, women are always going to try to upgrade to get a higher class of man because that's their survival. Men need to do all that grunt work of protecting the female, so they're always going to choose one for comfort. It's the egotistical man that wants to go with the model, that wants to la-di-da, that wants to yada yada. And if you have the money, which is that survival aspect, if you have that money, you can choose somebody that is a trophy. But again, you're always choosing as a man for somebody that's going to make your life comfortable, because you're going out there, you're earning that cash money dollar bills. You're going to want somebody that helps you have a comfortable lifestyle. A comfortable lifestyle for a female is safety. That's why you always choose up as a female. And I don't want to say you choose down, but men do on average, if you look at the numbers, you have to understand, honey, homie, sweetie, darling, what a metaphysician is. Me. Metaphysician has advanced degrees in sociology, psychology, and anthropology, usually adding something else. The fourth is usually some kind of philosophy, or like me, theology, okay? So anthropologically, and I am qualified, this is my professional opinion, men date down, women date up. Now, of course, there are exceptions to the rule. But my professional judgment and my personal opinion is that men date up. I mean, men date down, women date up. So this female here has already left. She's had to. She's had to, and she has to. Okay, and see, soulmate in reverse. Soulmate karmic partner. So it didn't work out in this life, unfortunately. And we knew that already because we had the Wheel of Fortune and the Moon. So we were healing something from a previous lifetime. The Justice card hasn't come out, so it's not for this lifetime. And I got to stop because we had the Emperor, the Empress, the Lovers, and the Temperance card. So all of the twin flame connection came out, and we're ready to go. So listen, I'm saying some things here that are going to upset some people, and it's not my intention to upset you, but I've got to deliver the messages. And I am qualified to say. So be patient with yourself. Don't be patient waiting for another person. Persevering in the face of delay, suffering in silence, but holding on, continuing on with life's struggles, but having hope that things will turn out fine. They've got to catch up. We can't hold out and wait for them. And the thing about it is feminine. Feminine, listen to you. Listen to me. Listen to your priestess, honey. I got to tell you this. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. When the feminine moves on, it's not about coming back. The man can move on thinking that he's going to come back because he's got to be in his energy in order for the divinity to come through. The feminine needs to be on her path, and her path is to go out as a loving being into the world. So when the feminine moves on, you move on hoping that he will catch up, not that you're going to come back. The man shouldn't do that either, but it works more with the man. It does not how the feminine energy works out, because God is always closer to the divine feminine. And again, if you're in your ego, if you're in your distorted, if you're in your karma, if you're unhealed, that's going to upset you. Angels answer the prayers of women faster than men. Okay, I could keep going. I'm saying things that I feel like I need to qualify. I'm done. I don't want to qualify shit. All right, that's what's up. Welcome to it. Let's get on with it. All right, so here's the deal. I just wanted you to know how much I miss you and how much you mean to me. It's been difficult moving on without you, but I'm waiting on the perfect time to return, and I'm trusting in the process. All right, don't tell me that. That's what I'm getting here. This feels anticlimactic, but I'm gonna let it go. Because look, if we keep going, there's the karma. So it's criminal. This is criminal. If we continue on with it, the heavens, God will consider that a crime. And so I'm going to tell you what God is saying. And I'm sorry, babe. I hate to do this, but Baba, can I speak for you for a moment? No, the answer is no. So let me just tell you as a high priestess what's up. Because we in the heavens, there were several lifetimes ago where we were supposed to be together. And early on in this life, when we came together, we were supposed to heal together. Because if we had to heal apart, God had promised us a new person. But God took his time giving us a new person because we had to heal. We were a doormat for dudes like this mother effer. Okay? We would hold space for BS. We would co-sign malarkey. We were a highway for demons. We weren't run through like a hoe on the street, but we were like this flame that was attracting lots of moths, and we were holding space. If we realized that every flame that we put out on the windowsill attracted a bunch of moths, eventually we were supposed to recognize that we should have just put a centinela candle out and went on about our business. And so we're all reminiscent because moths were flying to our flame. And now we're alone. And we're like, where's the moth? I'm this flame, where's the moth at? I'm this flame, where's the moth at? God wants us to be alone for a minute because we need to have boundaries and standards, self-worth and value so that we put the energy out into the universe that attracts the thing. Our abundance is being withheld on purpose because if we get that abundance, we're going to share it with the wrong person. And unfortunately, God feels that this is the wrong person because they didn't respect us and cherish us when they had the chance. When they had access to us, they mistreated us. And the only way they were able to wake up, the only way they were able to be saved, redeemed, the only way they were able to be delivered back unto the Lord was to lose us. That was the thing that brought them back to the divine kingdom, losing us. And that's what karma says. Okay. That's just the thing. Because that was their stuff from a previous lifetime here. Past life. This is unpleasant. Okay. So we do have that divine love, but it's going to be swapped out for another one. We're going to get another assignment. Fortunately. I'm so sorry, baby. This was not the most pleasant reading. Yeah, so God is working on assigning us to somebody else. We're going to get another assignment. Okay. Right now, we're being asked to work on ourselves because there's a power struggle. The devil is testing to see if we go back, because he still has a stronghold because of the karma on that relationship. Okay, so it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. If anything I said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book the session, send a donation. As always, my name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I was your oracle today. Vertex of Abundance is the Galactic Temple of Ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. Today, we deliberated the findings from the Pop of Love Oracle by Vibe About It and the Perdón, Permiso, Pardonne-moi, and let's see. So Vibe About It Tarot and the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and we impose the guidance from the Thoth by Aleister Crowley and Lady Frida Harris. Until we meet again, until we read again, Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. There's information and resources for you in the About section, or the description, or the additional info, depending on where you're coming from and viewing this video. But take good care of yourself all the same. Namaste, Dandava, and Ashe. Arrivederci. Au revoir. Ciao.